League season, the last home and away round prior to the finals. Adam Webster with you this afternoon on, it's fair to say it's an understatement that it's a blustery day here at Blundstone Arena, and I'm joined by Jacob Dool. Jacob, this is the type of day where you try to kick to your full forward and it goes to your centre-half back. How do you think Clarence is going to cope with these sorts of conditions? Do you think they're used to this?
You'd like to think so, playing for so long here at Blundstone Arena. It's not exactly a rarity having some strong wins. We've seen
some AFL teams struggle with.
I was going to say, we've seen plenty of AFL games where the ball ends up going backwards off the boot, but it's at least the sun's out now. It's a dry day to this point, so Clarence looking to snag one last win before the finals. We know their spot in second on the ladder is secure. They'll be travelling north in week one, but with North Launceston on the bye, they've got a good chance here to have a late tune-up and maybe take some form and some momentum into that big finals clash next week.
A strong, what feels like southerly breeze that's blowing directly across our backs here at the top of the Ponting stand at Blundstone Arena as North Hobart prepare for their final game of the season. They're at 3 wins and 14 losses across this year. Clarence are sitting in second and they can't be unseated from that, so they'll finish in that place behind North Launceston, who have the bye. But still plenty to play for North Hobart. They've had a young side in over the last few weeks, and a few of their senior players like Jack Sandrick have made way for the likes of younger players in their list, and they're really in that middle of a rebuilding type year ahead of the SFL Premier League insertion next season. We'll get going in about 10 seconds here at Blundstone Arena in round 21, and Nathan James will line up against Noah Holmes, who's had a fantastic year in the ruck for the Roos.
Holmes with a lot of weight on his shoulders in a game like this where Clarence are missing so many senior players. Look at their outs for this week: Josh Green, Tyson Hanslow, Ollie Preshaw, and then a few of their real talented youngsters as well. So someone like Holmes, who's led from the front all season, has a real chance to stamp his authority on a game like this and so carry them to a win.
Umpire holds the ball off. We're all set to go here in round 21 with Holmes up against James. Bounce is a good one. James punches it forward. It goes directly into the hands of Ryan. Ryan manages to get it out into the outer wing. And a searching kick. This goes through the hands of Holmes and out of bounds for throw-in. Jacob, it's one of those conditions where it's not a wet day, but it's almost going to be played like it's a bit of a wet day because you just don't know where the ball could be going off the boot.
Yeah, similar to when you're playing in the rain, the territory battle is just going to be so important. See there, just a thump forward to get it clear.
Brilliant tap by Holmes. Tracked down really well by Richards. Ball spills out to the back of the pack. Clarence appealing for a deliberate out-of-bounds decision. The umpire is having none of that. And we'll get another throw-in, this time just near the paint of 50.
Scrappy start so far, isn't it? Both teams just trying to settle early and, as we say, win that territory battle.
Holmes once again with a simple tap, although it did go to an opponent, immediately tackled, and we'll get a ball up. Yes, the umpire's going to get a fair old arm workout today. James goes through his hands, falls through the hands of McGuinness, pushes to the back of the pack now. Clarence, bit of a run on the outside wing, going inside 50, but chopped off. Nice mark taken there by McLeod. Nice kick to the centre. It's Norton. And now it's off to Kilpatrick, going inside 50 in search of McCulloch. Doesn't find him. Ball spills to the back of the pack near Walker. Walker to McCulloch. McCulloch can't quite track that down in the Divine direction as well. Doing very nicely in there with Borsboom. And now Clarence will clear to the outer wing. Just over the head of Holmes, but he managed to take the mark. That was a strong effort.
Players calling for the switch here, but kicking into a fairly stiff breeze across the ground. It's going to be tough to get it out to the outer side.
That is a rough switch. And instead there's a turnover. And we'll see a lot of that today. There's going to be a lot of intercept marks here at Blundstone Arena. Nice kick right to the painted 50. Drives it forward with the breeze, but it's off to the left. First score of the game to North Hobart. And you've got to think that the team that will be able to play better with the wind will gain the ascendancy early on, and when they adjust for that wind, they'll find it a lot easier to move the ball. Harper, here in the back pocket, searching for and finding Wiley. Hugged up against the boundary line. Chipping ball here for Howard. And now they do switch, but they switch with the wind, which is probably a smarter idea, Jacob. Because
a little bit safer, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Over here.
Terrible handball intended for Harper. Goes through his hands. Devine gets it over to a teammate in Leafhepper. However, Clarence are able to clear, and they use that wind to have it carry right to the wing. Tracking it down is Bush. He's done well, and now Clarence will come away with it once again. It's been a bit of a wall for them. They haven't got an inside 50 yet today. And the ball has gone... Is it out of bounds? There was an errant
free
whistle.
kick advantage there, Paige.
Errant whistle. And now we see...
Free kick going Clarence's way for the high tackle there. So, as you say, they've got their first inside 50. Now they've got a chance to really set something up here from the boundary.
You want to be very careful with your target here. And he is. Simple kick to Glover. And Glover's on the wrong side of the ground to work with the wind. This is going to have to be a really strong kick, and it's probably going to fall short of its target. So Clarence forwards. Noah Holmes we see sort of in the hole. He's in prime position to sort of take this one should it end up in his hands.
Made a quick lead now, Holmes. He wanted it in short, but nothing coming his way, so we'll have a shot here.
It's Glover from the 50. It's a pretty good effort, but it does hold up right to the teeth of the defence. Goes over the pack and in for one behind. McGuinness will kick in for North Hobart. He's chosen to kick into the wind along this side of the ground. It was a decent kick. That's Devine. Devine hitting McGuinness. Now in the centre of the ground, it's Norton. Norton searching for Kilpatrick inside 50. He'll run onto this. He's unable to save it though. It'll be out of bounds and a throw in.
I think North Hobart would have to be pretty happy with the start to this game. They've, for a lot of the first few minutes, locked the ball inside their forward half, and then when Clarence did get through, only managed to kick that behind, and they're able to transition really quickly back into attack. So I think Adam Bester would be fairly pleased with what he's seeing in these first 5 minutes.
Holmes just shoves Walker out of the way and hacks it outside 50. Glover can't control it. Good tackle applied by young Devine. Really good to see a Devine in an North Hobart jumper.
Just 16 years of age, Archie, but he's already playing some really good senior footy here for North Hobart. One of a handful of young guns that the Demons have on their list.
James controls it to McMurray. McMurray goes inside 50. Ball goes over the heads of both players, spills to the back of the pack. Good recovery here. But out of bounds on the full. A beautiful tackle applied. Howard was caught in all sorts, and there'll be a free kick to North Hobart, hugging the boundary line. But somehow going with the wind, Jacob.
Yeah, it was some great pressure there from Wilson, wasn't it? And I'm glad to see him the one who's earned the free kick for out on the full, because that tackle just...
Deserved a free kick.
It deserved a free kick, did not give the defender a chance.
Does not like it, goes straight across the face and out of bounds on the full. Scoring is going to be very, very hard to come by today. We've played nearly 7 minutes. We're at one behind apiece, which, as you say, North Hobart would be thrilled with. Of course, got their third win of the season over Launceston last week.
Could be a low-scoring day across the board today with games here, KG5 and the Twin Ovals, three fairly blustery locations in the Tassie State League.
Wiley and Ryan tried to connect there, but just came off the hands of Ryan on the lead and it's out of bounds in the forward pocket for North Hobart. So the Demons are able to lock it inside their 50, and Walker will contest with Holmes once again. Holmes taps it to the front of the pack. Walker did well. It'll be locked back in and a secondary stoppage. We saw with Lauderdale earlier in the season the last game you and I did, Jacob, where it was difficult for Clarence to gain the ascendancy if they weren't getting forward of the ball. And so far, this one's been no exception. We go to the wing. Really strong mark taken there by Monks of North Hobart.
Again, the Demons just setting up well behind the ball, aren't they? Doing a really good job of cutting off supply.
Chopped off by Holmes. Holmes goes to the wing in search of Harper, can't find him. Running onto it is Stevenson. Stevenson's held up but manages to get the handball away. Hitting it hard was James. Spills out to the back of the pack. Stevenson once again, handball over the top. Falls to Bealey. Bealey in the Ryan direction. Ryan goes back to Dolliver. Dolliver inside 50, searching for Holmes. Finds him. It's Rainbird on the right, hangs it right out. Can't quite get it to go. Barrow is tracking it down, and Barrow's able to clear to the outer side where Kilpatrick's waiting. Kilpatrick can't save it. Goes out of bounds. That was a really good chance for North Hobart off there. If they just managed to keep it in, they had a paddock. Yeah,
And the right idea, wasn't it, to try and break out in that far wing, and just a little error in execution, which a young team like the Demons, you can expect that, but they're at least trying to do the right things early in this game.
So it's Holmes versus Janes here in the ruck. Holmes taps it down once again. Janes controls it, hacks it outside of that contest. Only the back of the pack, but not able to mark was Ryan. Norton gets it over in the Bealey direction. He is tackled. Tracking it down is Hilda. Hilda with a really strong effort to force this out of bounds. And that was great work by Josh Hilda. He was outnumbered and a little bit outgunned, but the second effort forced it out of bounds and another stoppage. So North Hobart continue to lock it in their side of the ground.
Yeah, and stoppages like this, North Hobart so far doing a pretty good job of holding their own, even with a dominant ruck like Holmes for Clarence. They're managing to pretty much break even here so far.
Holmes at the back of the pack. Hacks it with the wind. Heading in the Rainbird direction. He manages to get it over the top. Beautiful kick. Harper runs onto it. Harper working on this one. Really good effort by Dixon to try and get it away from Harper. He gathers it now. He's immediately tackled. Slinged. Ball goes high in the air. Tracked down really nicely. And a centering ball falls in the direction of Johnston. But now North Hobart are able to control.
Horror bounce there, wasn't it? Could have fallen to one of two Clarence players, but over the head of both of them.
Nice little kick forward, North Hobart into the forward line here. McCulloch doing some work. That was Leavehepper that got it to the teeth of goal. Now tracked down. Cavanari's in there as well. Hilda has done some good things early, but once again cleared by Clarence. North Hobart doing a very good job of heading inside 50. Clarence just slowing the pace a little bit. Probably a smart call. Dolliver. Played 11 minutes and we're tied at 1, which is an indication of this breeze. Up the wing to a 2-on-1. Ball falls in the Janes direction. He's able to get the handball out, but tackle immediately applied and another stoppage.
Both teams just struggling with that last kick inside 50, aren't they? The breeze certainly not helping, but it's just finding that final target that's brought them both undone and kept us goalless through almost 12 minutes here.
Free kick's been plucked here for North Hobart. So Janes will have it on the outer wing. Loads up. Really?
I think the 50's been paid there. It was a mark taken at the back of the pack, and
that is completely fair.
I'm not quite sure what the thought was there, whether North Hobart player thought it had been touched or just forgot how the game of football works for a second, but
we've all been there, Jacob.
Oh, look, no judgment from me.
No, it's fair.
I would be doing silly things like that every 5 minutes if I was out there.
Pre-Shaw now in the centre of the ground, kicking inside 50 and looking and finding Dolliver. Strong contested mark there by Dolliver.
He's got a great set of hands, Dolliver. He's did that over a few years for the Tasmania Devils under-18 program, and now has brought that into the Clarence setup full-time this year. Had a really good season. Some standout performances up forward.
So Jack Dolliver, wind just died down there, but this once again is going to fall short and deep into the pocket there. McGee went up and couldn't quite get it. There's going to be another stoppage here, but this time it's deep in Clarence territory. We're one apiece, 13 minutes gone. First
that one just skewed off the boot, didn't it? And then the wind pushed it even further right. So there's just no margin for error at the moment on some of these kicks.
McGee getting the tap down. Ball falls to Dolliver. Dolliver to the back of the pack. Hacking it out of thin air is Tompkins. And Tompkins has kicked a goal. The first of the day for Clarence. North Hobart not really getting reward for effort with all their inside 50s across the opener of this term, but Clarence able to hit back.
Remarkable finish, wasn't it? Just threw it on the boot from the pocket and worked it beautifully, which on a day where goals could be hard to come by, could be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, it's a 5-goal margin today, could feel like 10. Great work by Ruben Tompkins. We restart with James versus Holmes. James taps it decisively. Falls to Liv Hepper, but he can't control it. Back of the pack. Richards. Now to Norton. Back to Norton on the wing. Sells a little bit of candy, and a little chipping ball is a really good one to McMurray. McMurray going inside 50. Falls to the back of the pack once again. Liv Hepper is there. And a really nice tackle applied, which saved a certain goal for North Hobart. One behind is the result. Clarence with the opportunity. Kicks in the Holmes direction. Holmes attacked that pack with a significant vigour. But unfortunately, there was too much vigour in that contest, and there'll be a free kick here to Stevenson. North Hobart with another chance to go inside 50. They trail it by 5. Top of the square type kick, looking for a target. Punched over the back by Wiley. And another behind to the Demons. Wiley to take the kick in.
Apologies for anyone tuned in with the slightly behind scoreboard at times, having some technical difficulties here. No surprise given the wind that the internet's playing up.
Well, Clarence are 1-1-7, North Hobart 3 behind, so a 4-point margin early on. Wiley has it. Inside defensive 50 for Clarence. Team's starting to use this wing a little bit more. That was a poor kick, but it ended up in the hands of Borsbroom. So a good mark taken by him and a good challenge by Angus Norton. Borsboom drives it long to the wing in the direction of Preshaw. Goes through his hands, spills to the back of the pack. Now it's Richards. On to Ryan. Going back though, can't quite control it, so McGuinness is there. North Hobart with numbers. Devine over the top. Liv Hepper could run onto this one, or it could just bounce through. It's a goal to North Hobart. They hit the front. It's just a case of reading it really well. That was McGuinness. North Hobart 139, leading Clarence 117, so 2 points in it. Tyler McGuinness just read that really well, was able to drive it forward and get enough purchase on the ball that it bounced over the top of everyone. Liv Hepper would have had an opportunity to track it down, but didn't need to.
as we said at the other end as well, it's a tidy finish on a day where goals are hard to come by, and maybe not what he was going for, but if you just get it on the boot and get it forward, good things can happen. And that's exactly what North Hobart got.
About 4 efforts there by Jack Preshaw. In the end, he gave it up. Ryan has it. He's tackled.
You can hear the North Hobart bench really fired up with some of this defensive pressure, celebrating that almost more than the goals. They've been tackling hard so far in this game.
Holmes. Tap down the direction of Alomes. Can't quite control it. Now it falls to him. He's tackled immediately. Spills to the back of the pack. Kavanagh is there, and there's a little bit of stacks on, a little bit of extra to go on with. North Hobart want to leave here with something in this season, and there's a free kick that's been plucked out for Norton. Norton going to the outer side. Falls through the hands of McGuinness, and it'll go out of bounds. It's the right idea for the goal kicker.
Really versatile player, isn't he, McGuinness? He's made his name running off half back, but they've sent him forward now, and it's a good size as a target down there. Him and McCulloch working in tandem could be really dangerous.
Might be a good spot for him long term. Walker and Holmes contest the ruck. Holmes taps it down. No one can control it. Walker with a tackle. Tackle applied by Leibheber, and that was too high. Ryan didn't like the treatment and has stayed on the ground. Both players have stayed on the ground, and a little bit of feeling in this one. So Ryan, chipping ball over the head of Holmes. Free kick though. A little bit too much attention from Tilbury.
Bit of a delayed whistle
and
there,
a 50.
Not sure what the 50's for. Neither are the North Hobart coaches and players on the bench, but the free kick was definitely there, wasn't it? Fairly unsubtle.
It was.
Unrealistic attempt over the back.
North Hobart not doing themselves any favours by giving away 50s if that's the case. Holmes. Right to a dangerous position, and now a secondary stoppage.
Now a chance for Clarence to really lock it in their forward line and make something happen.
Nice tap down, but it goes straight to Norton. McGee read it well, but Norton read it better. Paprotny's there on the outer wing. And another free kick is paid against North Hobart. Another inside 50 for Clarence. Right to the pocket, goes over the back of the pack. It's saved by McLeod. McLeod searching for Walker, can't find him. It's crummed really well by McGuinness, but falls to a nice spot and ends up as a behind. Good defending there on the line from North Hobart.
Thought McGee was going to reel that one in right on the goal line, but it just slipped out of his hands.
Chipping ball to Kilpatrick. He'll go to this outer wing that North Hobart have tended to favour. Having said that, that massive breeze out there. And we'll have a throw in on the half-forward flank. Janes puts it down the Ryan direction. Now it's overrun. Janes drives it forward. Nice mark taken. And Clarence have an opportunity to switch through Bealey. Bealey doesn't like what he sees, so he hits to the other side to Borsboom. And just overcooks that kick completely. Goes out of bounds on the full. North Hobart with a chance to drive it forward. That's what happens when you play with the wind on that side of the ground. You can easily kick it out of bounds. Walker is told to get back inside. Inside 50. The fly was no good there, but it was a good effort from Cleary. A nice intercept mark there. And North Hobart with yet another chance to head inside 50. A long left foot in the McCulloch direction. It went over his head. Was tracked down by Wilson. Kept in. And now Clarence with a chance. But a dangerous kick. Barrow was there. made life very difficult for Alones. North Hobart appealing for a deliberate out of bounds, not granted. We played 22 and a half minutes here. The margin is 1 point in favour of North Hobart. A blustery game. A difficult start for both teams.
It would have been a huge surprise if that deliberate was called. Not sure what the intention was otherwise.
McCulloch just takes it out of the ruck but can't quite get boot to ball or hand even. And we'll have another stoppage. It's the type of game where if you throw it on the boot out of a ruck contest like that, you could quite easily kick yourself a goal.
You could. The ball could end up going anywhere, so it's worth a try.
Holmes just kind of accepts the ball that McCulloch wasn't interested in, and we'll have another stoppage. McCulloch to the front of the pack in the Walker direction. Handballs it in the direction of Paprotny. Holmes kicking in danger. Will we get a free kick here?
There's definitely been a free kick paid North Hobart's
and
way.
A little bit of action happening all around. A few spot fires. And an opportunity for a kick on goal here to Norton.
Norton worked so hard in those contests. No surprise that he was the one at the base of that pack and earning himself a free kick for the flying boot from Holmes.
That was a hard kick too. Norton strolls in, kicks through it, fades to the right, margin back to 2 points. 1-4-10 plays 1-2-8. We're going to see a lot more behinds than goals kicked today, I think.
And he had what I thought was the right idea there. Hung it out to the right to let the wind work it back, and it just didn't.
Wiley kicks to a 2-on-1. It falls short through the hands of Stevenson. A pack forms. No one can quite control it. I think everyone's quite happy to see it over the line. Kilpatrick was the last to touch it, but it won't matter. And another throw in. A lot of throw-ins on this outer side in this first term, Jacob, and that's probably what we're in for a lot of today.
Yep, keeping the action as far away from us as possible.
That's
but
right.
Certainly keeping those boundary umpires on that side busy.
So Janes with a running start. The ball falls to Janes. Handballs it over the back of the pack. McCulloch searching, not finding. And now Clarence able to clean up once again. The mark is taken by Johnston. Johnston with a firm kick to Bealey. Bealey has Wiley short. Ignores that. Goes longer. It hangs very high. Under it is James. Good smother there by Holmes, or spoil by Holmes. Running onto it was Dolliver, and Dolliver has earned himself a free kick. Holmes is down as well, though. Holmes and Norton. Two pretty hard players there, Jacob.
Yeah, going at every contest at 110%.
Richards just over the top of McGee. Now it falls in the direction of Johnston, and a little ball to Harper. And Harper will have a chance to kick. Now, this is a reverse mods. What I would say would be the hardest shot on goal in this ground at this moment, because it is directly into the wind in the pocket.
Yeah, it's
got to be low and hard, this one.
I was going to say, just got to try and drill it. No point coming around the corner.
That's it.
Flat drop pump and see what happens.
Jared Harper does drill it, but misses to the near side. Wasn't a bad effort. So we've seen 2 goals and 7 behinds. I think that's about par for these quarters today. North Hobart able to clear.
Good kick again out
Nice
of the
kick
back
and
line,
a nice set of hands. As we head again to this outer wing, pack forms, ball spills. Controlled and now forward by Clarence. At the back of the pack, though, was the goal kicker McGuinness for North Hobart.
It's been everywhere so far.
Switches it straight away. Gets a running start. Talk about low and hard. That ball did hang in the air a little bit. Trying to track it down was Hilda. He couldn't do so.
Just got away from him, didn't it? Kept drifting. But again, North Hobart, some really decisive ball movement out of the back line, hunting out that switch.
Clear that that's been the message from the coach pre-game. When you get it, just go.
Yeah, and I think we've said it so many times, but a day like today, you just want to get the ball forward and give yourself a chance.
James with a huge punch. Oh! Massive grab by McLeod on the siren. What a wonderful mark that we're treated to here at Blundstone Arena as the siren sounds. And copping an errant knee to the back of the head, I think, is Alomes. He was a step ladder. No, it's Borsboom.
What a way for North Hobart to end a really promising quarter, though. One of their rising stars,
mark.
Harry McLeod.
And that'll spur them on heading into quarter time, Jacob. I mean, when you see a teammate do that, it's got to make you feel pretty good about where you are. You've got the lead, 1 quarter down. So we'll take a brief break here from Blundstone Arena and we'll come back with the second quarter of Clarence versus North Hobart. North Hobart leads by 1 point. back to Blundstone Arena for round 21 of the TSL season, where North Hobart, surprising leaders at quarter time, 1-4-10, playing Clarence 1-3-9. Adam Webster and Jacob Dool here on the call. And Jacob, a blustery, rough first quarter for both teams. A lot of opportunities and intercept marks gone begging.
Yeah, nothing easy out there either way, but both teams scrapping and fighting hard. North Hobart, I think, would be really happy with how they've come out of that first quarter, and Clarence, as we heard at the quarter-time huddle, were much less happy with the way that they're going. So we'll see if they can respond.
Holmes has just punched it about 30 metres. Ryan tried to run onto it. Tracked down by Norton. Falls to the back of the pack in the McLeod direction. He took that great mark. Now falls back to the Kopiak. Long to the wing. Controlled by Wiley, but he's immediately tackled, and we'll have another stoppage on this outer wing that these two teams seem to love so much today.
Well, that was a perplexing moment. I saw both umpires running in, pointing in different directions, but one has pulled rank and given the free kick to Clarence.
Okay. Well, we have Harper heading into the middle of the ground, and Clarence with an opportunity to drive it forward. Nice mark here taken by Johnston, who's had some good moments.
I was going to say, he's been really productive when he's had the ball.
Johnston with an absolute floater and a leg break that beat everyone. It didn't beat Ryan. Ryan misses to the near side. Thought that was going to be a highlight for Facebook there, Jacob. But
yeah, gave it a chance, didn't he, Ryan, from the boundary, but
that was all wind, I think, there.
Yeah, tough to, kicking against the grain like that, work it back towards goal when the breeze is going the other way.
Speaking of wind, that is a massive kick in the Janes direction. Falls instead the back of the pack, and now Kilpatrick with a left foot up the wing in the Walker direction. Walker with a strong set of hands. He doesn't have anyone to kick to, so he's got to wait for his teammate to become available. Running onto this one, it's in the Hilda direction, but there's a push that's been paid. Wilson desperately wants to drive it forward. Wilson going to the pocket, and body work. Is that going to be paid? Yes, it is. Really nice little use of the hands. It wasn't a push, so the umpire could not pay the free kick, but a good kick to the advantage of his teammate, and Thomas Leavehepper has a chance to kick a goal for North Hobart and put them back in front.
Some really strong body work, wasn't it, from Leavehepper?
It was.
He wasn't necessarily in the best position, but worked his man under it, and clean set of hands to bring it down.
So Leavehepper kicks through it and kicks true. North Hobart with their second goal of this contest. They lead it by that margin, 2-4-16, facing Clarence 1-4-10.
We questioned how Clarence would respond to some fairly strong words from Coach Peter Ryan at quarter time. And
strong? We're at the top of the grandstand and we heard it from up here, Jacob. It was...
We couldn't catch the specifics, but the volume was certainly there.
Absolutely.
And,
it's fair to say the challenge was laid down.
The challenge was laid down, and so far hasn't quite been answered. North Hobart again, just first to get their hands on the footy in the early exchanges.
Talking of the break, ahead of finals, Clarence have a few players to come back. So for a lot of these guys, they're playing for their ability to play finals for this football club, and this football club is planning to go very deep into the finals.
Yeah, they would fully be expecting to go all the way to the grand final and challenge for the premiership. So this is an important opportunity to impress for a lot of players out there, and for the senior players, they need to step up and lead the way in a game like this.
Holmes pushes Jane out of it, and there's a block that's paid, and the free kick will be taken by Janes. Janes drives it inside 50. Just goes through the hands of Leavehepper. And instead, there'll be a stoppage. So just really positive signs for North Hobart. They're able to get it forward quickly and decisively. The word that you used in the first quarter rings true.
And then providing a good contest when the ball gets there as well. They're not marking everything, but they're at least bringing it to ground and giving themselves a chance to lock it inside 50.
Clarence, though, have the clearing kick. They go to the outer wing, and there'll be a free kick paid. And an opportunity for the Roos to head forward. Harper has it on the outer wing. Drives it inside 50. Beautiful mark taken by Gilligan. The ball's just a bit too strong inside 50 for Clarence.
Thought he'd run under it for a second there, but how's the extension and the hang time to pull that one down?
It was brilliant. And North Hobart have been at their best when they move the ball quickly. They haven't been able to do that because they haven't had any targets. Leaveheber, that ball just attempted to be landed on a 20-cent piece by David Monks, and it proved to be far too difficult for Thomas Leaveheber to mark, and we'll have a stoppage right in front of our commentary position here at Blundstone Arena.
It's a risky kick, wasn't it, from Monks? It was a 1-on-3 in the end by the time the Clarence players converged, but at least it was out towards the boundary and there was some safety there when the ball spilled.
Shows the talent of Leaveheber that he was able to force the stoppage. James just falls over. Holmes controls it. Norton hacks it forward into the Walker hands. Now to McGuinness. McGuinness kicks it forward. Heading onto it is Hilda. Hilda desperately chasing after it. It falls into the hands of Bush. Nice tackle applied. Running onto it is Hilda, and now Leaveheber. And now in the square is McCulloch for a goal. North Hobart have 3. They lead it by 12 points. 3-4-22 plays Clarence 1-4-10. Great start by the Demons.
Brilliant play there, wasn't it? First of all, some quick movement to get it inside 50, then the defensive pressure to keep it there and force a turnover. And no selfishness at all, was there? The chain of handballs over the top, ending with the skipper McCulloch from point-blank range. I think that's maybe the passage of play of the day so far. North Hobart just really strong so far, outworking Clarence to this point.
Sources tell me that Leaveheber means lover in Dutch. Jacob Doyle.
I would love to know who your sources are, on that, honestly.
So Thomas is certainly loving and being loved by his teammates in this contest. That's a goal assist for him to match his earlier goal, and we'll get started and straighten right up here again at Blundstone Arena. Thank you to my sources. Jane can't quite control that one. Holmes with a second, third, fourth effort. It's not enough though. Norton has it at the back of the pack. Goes to the wing.
It's been absolutely everywhere so far. Angus Norton just brought his own footy today.
It's Meadows. Now to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick, not really to the advantage of his teammate. A hack kick out. Just fell a little bit too short. That was not the best effort. And a tackle applied by Norton. North Hobart are really turning up the heat against Clarence today. It's Borsboom heading inside 50. Glover just kind of ran past the ball, and a push in the back is paid, so a free kick to the Roos. After some strong efforts by the Demons.
Some smart play there from Jared Harper. Just knew he didn't have the numbers, so instead just held his man off the ball, and by doing that, forced a bit of a clumsy tackle once he finally did collect.
Yeah, accepted the contact well, and Harper with a chance to kick it, although this is a long kick into the wind here at Blundstone Arena.
Players on the goal line would want to keep their hands warm here, I think, but Harper certainly capable of kicking one from here.
Harper lays the boot in and kicks it. Really strong kick by Jared Harper, kicking Clarence's second goal. They're 2-4-16, trailing North Hobart 3-4-22. We've played 8 minutes here in this second term.
Great finish from Harper there, just drilled it low and hard. Didn't give the wind a chance to catch it, and really did it with ease in the end.
So we'll have a restart. A really lively contest, Jacob. The team that is more decisive with the ball and moves it more quickly tends to score in this one. Do with that information what you will. We get started. Jane versus Holmes. Falls directly into the hands of Jane, and they'll be recalled.
North Hobart fans unhappy with that one. They thought they were out there and cruising out of the centre square, but we'll go again.
Tough to bounce it in this. And Jane takes it out of the ruck, immediately dispossessed. Tackle applied, another stoppage. It was Tilbury who was tackled. Jane gets a running start at it. Falls into the hands of Borsboom. Tackle applied by Norton. Borsboom follows up. Tackle from Tilbury, and another stoppage in the middle.
And the Demons just throwing themselves into every contest. One player lays a tackle, the other one piles on just to make sure of it.
One team playing like there's no tomorrow because there's not.
The last game in the TSL for the Demons, so they want to prove a point here.
Holmes with a little tap, but he was held, so he'll get a free kick here. Fantastic year by Noah Holmes as he drives it inside 50, searching for, not finding a teammate, really decisive fist. And great defensive work there by Prokopiak. We'll have a stoppage here just outside 50 for Clarence. Holmes takes it directly out of the ruck, falls to Popropny. Popropny inside 50, goes over three players' heads, falls in the direction of Borsboom. Borsboom with the outside of the right boot. It's Dolliver. Beg your pardon. Dolliver with the goal. That's his first.
Sharp stuff in traffic there, just a little shimmy and shake and kick with the outside of the boot. Never looked like missing.
So we're all tied up, 3-4-22 apiece. Nearly 11 minutes gone in this second term. Jack Dolliver's done some good things. Took a great mark in the first quarter and then a goal with the outside of the right boot in the second term to draw Clarence level. So they have responded to Coach Peter Ryan's feedback at quarter time. And thus, here we are.
Still well and truly up for grabs, isn't it? Both teams up for the fight, so have drawn themselves back level, Clarence, but they wouldn't want to take your foot off the pedal again.
We get started again. Holmes and James. Controlled by Clarence. Proprotny finding Dolliver. Goes inside 50. Through the hands of Rainbird. Now falls to Holmes. He's tackled immediately. And he's paid a free kick for a high tackle. So James Holmes went lower and harder than the North Hobart players and was rewarded accordingly. Just saw a goal kick from this position on the ground, or two in fact, so they're favouring this pocket, the Roos.
Good little burst here for Clarence, and if they're able to kick this goal, they've really taken full advantage. Kicking goals in a hurry on a day like today, doubly valuable.
Seem to have really worked it out over the last 10 minutes or so, the Roos. Holmes starts at left, he goes to the right, and that's a goal. Perfectly worked with the wind by James Holmes. Clarence now lead by goal. Goal kick is to Clarence, one to Holmes, Harper, Dolliver and Tompkins. For North Hobart, one to McCulloch, Leaveheber and McGuinness. We've been impressed with North Hobart's start today, but now it's where they as a young team are really challenged. Taking a couple of punches in the mouth. Can they respond again? Or can Clarence really keep the foot down and power away? Played nearly 13 minutes in this second term. It's been an entertaining contest so far, Jacob.
Not sure what to expect given the conditions, but both teams putting on a good show so far.
Holmes with a decisive tap down in the direction of Ryan. Over the top, and well done by Tompkins. Tompkins to the outer wing to Johnston. Johnston steadying, kicking in the direction of Paprotny, but it goes over his head, but it falls fortuitously for Clarence, and they have yet another shot on goal, this time through Glover. So Clarence able to move it forward really quickly in this term.
Maybe a little bit of good fortune there with the kick drifting past the pack, but you make your own luck sometimes, and they won it out of the middle and got that inside 50 to earn this shot on goal.
Glover kicks through the ball, and he's got it. Clarence can't miss all of a sudden.
Like that one straight off the boot, Glover. Never looked like missing.
5-4-34. Play North Hobart 3-4-22.
We might have to take back everything we said about goals being hard to come by today, because all of a sudden Clarence are piling them on very quickly.
That's right. They seem to have really worked out the wind in this term, Clarence. They just took a term to get an understanding of the way it was going and how to play it, and they've done that, and they've done it successfully, and every kick on goal has been with the wind in mind. They're now in front by 12 points. Holmes and James got a secondary stoppage here. It's more of a draw of a ruck contest than anything else. The ball just basically fell between the two of them, and away we go again. James just got all over the back of Holmes. No free kick paid. Norton hacked it out to the near wing. He tracks down his own ball, finds Lee Hepper. Lee Hepper onto the hands of McGuinness. He's tackled, and it will be holding the ball. Nice tackle applied. Now a kick to the wing will find Preshaw. Clarence just sharing it around. Bealey goes through the centre of the ground now. And a really nice kick. Right to the top of the square this time for Clarence. A tap and it hits the behind post. Mitchell Rainbird couldn't quite control it. It was a good kick in by Richards.
Monk's doing well there. Ball almost drifted out of his reach, but at least forcing the ball out of bounds safely here. Some good decisive work from Clarence there. They were patient along the half-back line, but once they saw an opening through the middle of the ground, they took it and hit their targets really well.
Nice tap, but it falls to Norton. North Hobart with an opportunity. It's overrun. Pack forms. Handball out there from Tompkins. And we'll have a stoppage. Clarence have certainly been much more fierce around the contest the last 10 or 12 minutes of this game, and they've been rewarded by a few free kicks at goal. Hack kick to the back of the pack. Holmes is there waiting for it. His handball doesn't quite hit the mark and a tackle is applied, so a good win for North Hobart getting it out of Clarence's forward 50 and near the centre of the ground. Holmes hacks it out of the ruck, as he's done so many times this season. Ping-ponging around, but a good mark taken here. And an opportunity for the Roos to streak forward. Goes straight through the hands of Harper. Tackle is applied and another stoppage inside 50. So it's Clarence able to really gain the ascendancy and lock the ball inside their forward 50 in this term. James just shoves McGee out of the way. Kick forward to the wing. Goes over the head of McCulloch. Well done by Cleary. Good work by McCulloch. Falls to Walker. Walker is tackled immediately. And North Hobart fans not really happy with the way that tackle was applied. Walker was bent over the ball, so umpire judges it a legal tackle. Beautiful tap by James. Falls to the back of the pack. Opportunity here for Walker to go inside 50. Walker sends it over the head of his teammate, and there'll be a boundary throw in right against the teeth of goal.
Thought they might just sneak out the back there, North Hobart.
Yep. They were threatening to do so, get a run of a goal against the play.
It's been an important couple of wins for them around the stoppages, though, in this last few minutes. Yep. Clarence able to get the ball forward, and they've been able to repel, so sort of steadied a little bit, and they just need to hit back on the scoreboard if they can.
So McCulloch versus Holmes. McCulloch taps it down. Clarence clear. Right to the 50. Overrunning it was Tompkins. Now it's Alomes. Into the direction of Bealey. Bealey, a searching kick in the Johnston direction. Johnston pursuing it along with Stevenson. Ball falls to Dolliver, and now it'll go inside 50. Beautiful mark taken. And another opportunity on goal for the Roos from Glover.
Been really active forward, Glover. Had some nice moments at ground level and in the air there. Not easy to read a high ball like that, drifting in the breeze, but was able to read it best and reel it in.
He's kicked one this term. See if he can make it two. So James Glover starts at left, and it stays left and hits the post. 5-5-35. Clarence taking a 13-point lead over North Hobart, 3-4-22. North Hobart clearing it strongly in the Janes direction. It's going to fall short, goes over the top of the pack. Janes can't quite track it down. Preshaw instead has it, kicks it to the teeth of goal, goes over the back of the pack. Glover is there, he's tackled, he's possessed, he's Norton. Norton for North Hobart, trying to find a pathway outside 50. Instead, the Roos will once again take control of it, but that was a poor handball. Leafhepper is there as well. Now Clarence over to control with quick handballs. Norton applies a tackle. Kick still inside 50. It carries out of bounds on the full, and seen a bit of that today, Jacob, with the wind.
Some of those rush kicks just drifting off course, but it's a risky kick across goal here. This could get ugly.
Not a good kick. Instead, just a hit and hope from North Hobart. Instead, guess where it's coming. Ball too strong for Holmes, but it falls into the hands of a teammate. Chest mark dropped. There's a lot of floaters happening. Laying the boot in is Preshaw. Preshaw puts it out of bounds on the full. Another opportunity for North Hobart to clear.
You see here, Clarence really set up well just outside the paint of 50 with numbers behind the ball. Not many easy targets for North Hobart to find.
Norton just overcooks that one in the Janes direction. It goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in on the outer wing. 21 and a half minutes gone. 13-point margin to the Roos. We've really taken control of this contest since the 5-minute mark of this second term.
There, North Hobart, a little lapse to let the ball into the hands of one of Clarence's better kicks from distance, but doesn't get full.
Up to 14, Leafhepper. Great punch by Bealey. Now falls to McGuinness. McGuinness searching for a teammate, but he only finds Preshaw. Preshaw switching and finding Holmes. Can't quite take the mark, but he's still able to gather the ball. Wiley has it. Wiley to the 50. Falls though to Tilbury. James going backwards, but manages to get it out to the wing. Falls short of Walker. And instead, the mark's taken by Richards. Richards onto Wiley. Wiley with a low, hard one and a beautiful set of hands here for McGee. McGee doing the team thing to the top of the square. James is under it. No mark taken. Tackle applied and we get a stoppage. So good team play by Clarence to lock this in. 25 and a half minutes gone. Siren's not too far away in this term, Jacob.
No, North Hobart would really want to get through unscathed here. Head into half-time, still within touching distance.
James, Holmes, out of the ruck and kicks it. The ruckman. That's what happens when you lock it inside 50, Jacob, and have those stoppages and those opportunities, then one will work out. And for Noah Holmes, boy, did that.
He's just so dangerous, isn't he, in that situation? We've seen him often, those forward 50 stoppages, sitting behind the ball and letting a teammate take the ruck contest, but he's just so strong, able to work his man out of position and get the ball onto the boot. Clarence, a weapon in there.
Clarence now up by a game-high 20 points, 6-6-42 to North Hobart, 3-4-22. That bounce will come back. It's directly into the hands of McGee, but he didn't move. So a ball up. McGee and James come together in a strong contest. Goes to the outside. Ball's boom. Now falls in the hands of Paprotny. Paprotny inside 50, searching. Ball now falls to Harper. Running onto it was Harper. And now into the pocket. Tackle is applied. Clarence one holding the ball. They'll get it. That was a strong tackle by Noah Holmes. And he has a chance to kick his second. Really stamped his authority on this game in this second term, Noah Holmes. He's kicked one, he's been dominant at the contest, the stoppage, and he'll wheel around and he'll kick two. So Clarence have taken full control of this one. They led it by 26 points, despite trailing by a point at quarter time.
As you say, Holmes in this quarter, but especially in this last 5 minutes, really just grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck and powering Clarence clear. The kind of player that he is, you let him off the leash and he can do some serious damage. He's pushed the lead out to a game-high 26 now.
Siren not far away. We'll take a break at half-time and come back to you for the second half. This round 21 contest between Clarence and North Hobart. Last regular season game for both of these teams of this 2024 TSL season. Jane, decisive tap down. McGuinness tries to control it, can't quite do so. Falls to the back of the pack. Barrow to the outer wing. Can't quite mark it there, McLeod. Clarence have the numbers around this contest and they'll get it to the back of the pack. Little chipping ball is really good. And an opportunity to go inside 50. This is Harper searching over the back of the pack. And it rolls through for a behind.
Just hung that one up there, didn't he, Jared Harper? I think it carried further than anyone was expecting.
Yes. Ticked over 29 minutes gone in this second term. That kick was a poor one, just slipped as he kicked the North Hobart defender, and Preshaw has it. Preshaw goes long and strong and hits the post. Hits the post above the padding too, so that would have gone through for a goal.
Just peppering the goals here.
50.
North Hobart
Really
hanging
woken
on
up.
for dear life.
Absolutely. Kicks in the Janes direction. Falls short of McGee. Harper. And goes out of bounds on the full. It's a strong kick by Rainbird. They've laid the boots in this term. That was a poor kick. Once again, just went over the head of Charlie Hasty, and Bealey had it. And it was a simple kick to Glover and an opportunity for him to line up as we've passed the 30-minute mark, and that is the siren expected, but Glover has a chance to put Clarence further ahead. They're up by 28 points. They're down by 1 at quarter time.
This really would be just a dagger through the heart of North Hobart. Worked so hard early in this game, but it slipped away in the second quarter.
Glover kicks through it. Doesn't like it, and it's behind. So a 29-point margin to Clarence. We'll head to half-time here at round 1 of the 2024 TSL season. It's Clarence 7-9-51 leading North Hobart 3-4-22. Welcome back to Blundstone Arena for round 21 of the TSL season. It's Clarence with a 29-point lead over the North Hobart Demons, 7-9-51. The Roos, North Hobart 3-4-22. Adam Webster with you this afternoon on a blustery day, probably one of the blustiest days at Blundstone Arena. And that's saying something for this ground because, Jacob Jewell, at times AFL teams don't really know how to kick goals on this ground.
No, it's not exactly a surprise, but it's certainly been tough conditions, and as the day gets colder and colder, I'd have to imagine it's only going to get harder for the players out there. It was we're expecting a low-scoring game, but Clarence really put their foot down late in the second quarter to power away on the scoreboard. We'll see now if they can keep that momentum going.
We get going with a decisive tap by James. However, it goes directly inside 50 to Clarence. They're picking up where they left off. McGee tapped down, falling into the hands of Dolliver. He taps it forward. Now North Hobart can clear. Nice tackle applied here by Hilda. Falls to the back of the pack. Hack kick out, just hangs in the air. Also hanging in the air was Wiley. He couldn't quite take that mark, and a tackle is applied. And there'll be a ball up just here on the half-forward flank. Tompkins with the tackle. Holmes just palms it down directly into the path of Bealey. Paprotny is in there as well. North Hobart just trying to get some ball out. McMurray disguised that well over the line, and we'll have a throw in.
As you see, Clarence really picking up where they finished in the second quarter. Been a lot of heat at the contest, and North Hobart just struggling to get their hands on the footy at the moment.
So Noah Holmes tried to kick it out of the ruck contest. You don't see that every day. Instead, Preshaw did get a slight boot to it. He follows up his effort. Really good tackle applied. Another stoppage. Tompkins in there again with the contested ball early in this one. Holmes just taps it to his feet, but Norton is there. Preshaw. Another stoppage, so Clarence able to lock it in. Holmes just puts his body in the way. Preshaw tries to burst through the pack. A tackle applied by Norton, yet another.
And
it'll be a free kick.
Slipping a little bit high there. Norton disbelieving. Certainly doesn't agree with that call.
But for Jack Preshaw, I mean, that was his fifth or sixth effort in the space of the past minute, Jacob. I mean, it's just reward for effort more than anything else. He threw himself in every single one of those stoppages.
Yeah, and when you're first to get to the football in those contested scenarios, you're giving yourself every chance to either win the ball or win yourself a free kick.
So Preshaw with a strong left foot. However, it's missing to the left-hand side, and behind is the first score of this second half to the Roos.
Tom Guinness with ball in hand. What can he do to get the Demons out of trouble here?
He can find Devine. It's a big hole out here on this near wing. Devine will head in that direction. Walker is under the ball. Punches from behind. Good effort by Richards, but a better effort by Walker, and we'll have a stoppage right in front of us here, Jacob.
Walker caught behind the play there a little bit, but did well to still make a contest and get the ball over the line. And North Hobart on centre wing with a chance to try and get their first forward entry of the half.
His throw-in will fall really short and will have to be redone. And given the wind, it's fair enough too.
Tough day, not just for the players, but for the umpires as well.
Very tough, particularly for these boundary umpires that need to throw it in. Taking a few more steps in just for good measure. Gives it everything. Well done, son. Holmes taps it directly down, falls into the hands of McMurray, but he's tackled, and another stoppage. Wilson and Holmes it is, I think. Wilson and Rainbird are just having a few discussions. Preshaw misses out on it, but it falls to Wilson. He's beset upon, and that tackle had a little bit of extra mayo on it, I think, Jacob, because of the words prior to it.
I think so, yeah. I think it's actually Angus Norton in there who's, shown how hard he is around the contest. Happy to get stuck in with a few extras as well.
Holmes just controlling every single one of these. Paprotny. Now on to Bealey, high up and under. Really good tap there by McGee. The ball was not to his advantage, but there'll be a boundary throw in. Noah Holmes has just dominated all of these stoppages since early in the second term. He's been such a massive reason why Clarence are in the position that they are. He's kicked 2 goals himself, and he's been everywhere.
Yeah, James, I thought, held his own really well early in the contest, and he's still fighting hard, but against a player like Holmes, there's only so much you can do when he gets rolling.
James ends up falling on top of the ball, and unfortunately for Ryan, it was paid as a free kick. Falls out to Kilpatrick. Love to see that last name playing football again from my youth. Hilda overruns it in the Walker direction. Now back to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick with a left boot. Goes over the top, and there'll be a free kick. Free kick is paid to Devine. Devine goes over the top. That handball just had a little bit too much air underneath it. Instead, it is a miss there for Cracknell. So Devine just kind of either had to kick that or go a little bit earlier with the ball, Jacob, because found himself with a clear run inside 50 and advantage paid, but just couldn't capitalise on it, North Hobart. That's the youthful exuberance that we've seen from this outfit.
Yeah, I think they did well to keep the momentum rolling inside 50, but the execution at the end of it just wasn't quite there, as you say. Got an opportunity gone begging to just claw a bit closer.
That's McCulloch tapping it down. Holmes wants a hold. He had both hands in the air. Paprotny is in there as well. Tackle applied, and another stoppage. Holmes just standing his ground once again in this one. Wilson manages to get on the ground and get into it. Kilpatrick is there. McLeod has it. Goes to the outer side. Kick inside 50 for North Hobart. Unable to be controlled by the Demons. Instead, it falls in the direction of Bealey. Bealey falls on top of the North Hobart player. No free kick paid. That was fair, the umpire said. And there'll be a stoppage inside 50. So Holmes with a tap down. Devine has it. Just hacks it out to the top of the square. Falls away from his teammate in the direction of Wilson. Instead, Clarence are able to clear it, but only so far as Kilpatrick, who has it. Kilpatrick fakes, runs around his opponent, inside 50, drives it long to the top of the square, but it's cut off and an intercept mark is taken. Clarence with the opportunity to get it out of trouble.
North Hobart doing well to keep the ball forward here, but haven't been able to hit the scoreboard. I have another chance here, though.
That ball just falls directly into the hands of Jane. Now, we saw a few goals kicked by Clarence from this position in the second term. We've seen that if you can kick through the ball, start at left and have it just fade across the centre of the goalposts, or between the goalposts there, you can kick a goal. So we'll see if James is able to put the right sort of trajectory on this one, given the wind. So James, from right on the 50, it's going to go to the top of the square. No mark is taken, and instead it'll be a boundary throw in right against the point post. So Holmes versus McCulloch. Holmes hacks it outside, gets it outside 50. North Hobart with an opportunity out of thin air, and another behind to the Demons. 9 minutes gone in this third term. Holmes has a very simple strategy in the ruck, and that's just stand your ground and tap it to your teammate, whereas North Hobart are trying to get that running start at it. It's just not working for them at the moment. As Wiley kicks it into the pocket. Goes in the Bealey direction, and now to the outer wing. Beautiful mark taken. They'll switch here, Clarence. Back to Wiley. And now Bealey. Bealey just pops it up, but does it really nicely. Here's Paprotny. Paprotny with a low, hard ball to Preshaw. Jack Preshaw tries to centre it, but just can't quite get purchase on it. Instead falls to Walker. Walker steps around a couple. He's smothered. Running onto it is Devine. Devine into the pocket. Now for Leafhepper. Wheels around. Little chipping ball in the Devine direction. He's tackled immediately, and we'll have a stoppage inside 50 for North Hobart. So just missing a little bit of polish, the Demons. That's stopping them from being able to score in these positions.
Yeah, and I think that there's always going to be a bit of a difference in that class and finishing touches between these two teams, but see if they can overcome that to make an impact here as it goes out of bounds again.
Holmes to Wiley, and Wiley was tackled over the line. Another opportunity for North Hobart inside 50. So they've been able to lock it in a little bit here, the Demons. Holmes versus McCulloch. McCulloch taps it to the front of the pack. Leafhepper overran it. McCulloch tries to get it down in the corner. Wilson was smothered, and it goes out of bounds. This is better from North Hobart, Jacob. They're able to at least lock it in, but clean ball use appears to be the problem inside 50 for them. Clarence doing a very good job of creating that congestion.
Yeah, the endeavour's certainly there, isn't it? It's just, as you say, finding that tidy possession to finish off these plays.
Holmes to the back of the pack. Clarence with a chance through Glover. Nice contested mark. Glover going to the outer side. Running onto it, though, was McGuinness. He can't quite control it. Leafhepper is in there as well. Glover in there, and there's a stoppage. And Glover says, I should not be here, and runs directly back into the forward line. Holmes. Hack kicks it out. As is his want. Tackle is applied by Ryan. And another stoppage here. Just outside 50 for the Demons. Holmes taps it down to the outer wing. Kilpatrick has it. Now Wilson. Norton. McGuinness in there as well, and another stoppage. Holmes. North Hobart doing a much better job of getting the contested ball, but Clarence are able to get out the back here. Mark is taken by McGee. McGee driving it inside 50. A beautiful ball, but a beautiful punch there by Kavanagh. Good defensive work there by North Hobart. There's McLeod. North Hobart able to get it outside 50. Going straight back in, though. Paprotny has it. Little chipping ball is a good one. And a smother applied. So good defence here from North Hobart. Another high up and under in, and a beautiful mark taken. Contested. Great work there by Tompkins.
After so much hard work from the Demons.
1 point from all that work over the last 10 minutes or so of having it mostly in their territory.
Now Clarence have the chance to go straight down the other end and kick truly here, they will have extended their lead even further.
So Tompkins kicks through the ball, and it goes over the line, just over the outstretched hand of Nathan James. And Tompkins with his second of the day. So you talk about a goal against the run of the play, Jacob, and that's exactly what this was.
That just hurts, doesn't it? Really hurts a team, especially a young team. They fight so hard to get back in the contest, at least in general play, but that's the class of Clarence. They take their opportunities when they get them, and now they lead by 34 points.
8-10 plays 3-6. So much effort from this young North Hobart side, but unfortunately goes begging, and Clarence with their 8th goal of this contest as Norton runs onto the tap and is tackled. And yet again, another little bit to go on with by Norton, and some feeling in the middle of the ground. These two teams with a long and storied rivalry. James just gets all on the back of Holmes, Paprotny. Now out to Ryan. Ryan in the direction of Glover. Over his head. Monks taps it out. Outside 50. It trickles out of bounds, and a throw in on the outer side. Nearly 16 minutes gone in this third term. James with that running start manages to get it over the back in the Kilpatrick direction. Johnston has it. He's in and under. Bealey in there as well. Tackle applied by two Demons, and another stoppage.
So as we're just about midway through this third quarter, feels like a real, maybe not turning point given how big the lead is, but chance for North Hobart to knuckle down and keep things close, or for Clarence to really blow the doors off this one.
Holmes with another 20 or 30 metres gained just from his tap work. Holmes gets it out of the ruck once again. Kicks it to the teeth of goal, but only so far as an opponent. North Hobart are able to clear straight away. They clear it to a 2-on-2. That was really, really good work there by Harper. Going inside now, Glover. Now on to Tompkins. He can't quite get it to go, or behind as Stevenson tracks it over the line.
Mentioned it a couple of times at stoppages. Can see Angus Norton just a bit of push and shove again with his man. Certainly can't fault his effort or his intensity today.
James has it just inside 50 for North Hobart. He threatens a switch, but instead just chips it over the top. However, a leg break goes around Kavanagh. Tackle applied. Kavanagh tries to track it down. There's a push in the back adjudged here, and Kilpatrick will switch to the outer side where Gilligan has it. Leave-Hepper. He's gone a long way from his home inside 50 and has it on the outer wing. Driving it forward in the direction of Murray. And now, right to a dangerous spot for North Hobart, a 2-on-1. Clarence did that pretty well. The kick for goal, though, is true. Acted out of thin air, did this young Jack Wilson. Well, that just snuck in, Jacob.
That really was something out of nothing,
yes.
Wasn't it?
That was literally throwing it onto the boot.
Just managed to scrap it forward, and Wilson had a man right on his back. No time to try and do anything more than just throw it on the boot. But geez, he did it well and curled it through beautifully. was that goal that North Hobart really desperately needed just to give themselves some kind of footing in this game. Margin's still 29 points, but a tiny bit of momentum wrested back after Clarence had really taken over.
A reset here as Holmes controlled the tap. Just a reminder that the wingmen have to be outside of the square in the centre, Jacob, as the ball goes up again. Falls between the two ruckmen, bounces in the Jane's direction. McGuinness is there as well. Tackles applied and another stoppage. Holmes taps it over the top in McGuinness direction. He's tackled again. So Tyler McGuinness.
This feels like a bit of a rugby scrum here. Holmes gets the tap forward and then start again with another stoppage. This time he'll get a bit more ground with the kick.
Holmes back inside 50, falls to the back of the pack. Running onto it is Johnston. Clarence trying to control it here, right in the forward pocket. High up and under, controlled by North Hobart. And they'll go to the outer wing in the Leave Hepper direction. Here's McCulloch as well, long way from home. Overruns it. And Clarence able to clean it up. Good, don't argue. In the Wiley direction as well. A nice chipping ball. Clarence combined through a string of handballs. They'll go inside 50 here. Ball spills off hands. Glover trying to track it down. He does, but overruns it. Holmes in there. Bring the ball out was Barrow. And a stoppage. James. Tap over the top towards the boundary line. Clarence very happy to continue to lock this in until they're able to gain some space.
I said before, we'd seen Noah Holmes kick a goal out of the ruck in a spot like this, but he's just sitting behind the ball here, giving Clarence an extra number there.
James taps it down. Here's Bealey. Now Harper. Johnston's in there with Devine. Devine falls on top of it. We'll have another stoppage. Holmes to the back of the pack. Here's Dolliver into the corner, and there's Harper. An opportunity for a difficult kick for goal.
Good kick there from Dolliver. It felt like this was just a real arm wrestle around the stoppages all of a sudden, but all it takes is that one tidy kick out of traffic to give Clarence a chance to hit the scoreboard again.
So Harper aiming for his second. He'll kick into the wind. Leaves it up there and kicks it. Great kick from Jared Harper. He's got two.
It's an incredible finish there, isn't it? The wrong side for the right footer. Impossible angle with the breeze playing havoc with everything.
He's kicked a lot of those at training, I suggest, on a windy evening.
He knows all corners of this ground very well, does Jared Harper. Played a lot of footy here, so maybe shouldn't be any surprise, but an excellent finish nonetheless to push the margin back out to 35.
So nearly 24 minutes gone in this term. 65 plays 30. Clarence leading North Hobart, who started strongly up until about the 5-minute mark of the second term, and then Clarence just said, no thanks.
Has started to look like a team gearing up for a finals tilt against a team that's not going to feature in the postseason.
Bounce will be recalled. It is a very tough day to bounce a ball in the middle of a windy oval. We told Jacob the forecast is for this to get worse, not better.
I'm glad it's not a night game then, and we're getting this out of the way now.
About a 50-metre kick out of thin air there by Leafheffer. But Clarence able to control. A touch ball, Wiley. Can't quite control it, but that's probably a good thing more than anything else. Handball over the top. And a beautiful tackle applied and holding the ball. Great tackle by Paprotny. Just didn't give McGuinness any chance at all.
Done a lot of hard work today, hasn't he? Paprotny has. On that occasion there, McGuinness tried to step through and keep his arms clear. Could have been a really dangerous spot if he did, but Paprotny did not let him get away.
This goes over the head of Tompkins and it falls to Kilpatrick. Wilson has it. He's taken too high, so he'll have an opportunity. Norton, it is, will have an opportunity to kick for goal. And straightens it up straight away.
Smart from Angus Norton, wasn't it? First, it was we'll say a savvy move to win the high free kick, and then quick recognition across the goal to find Leafheffer with the short pass.
Leafheffer's kicked one today. Kicked this from straight in front, about 40 metres out. He likes it, and that's his second. So good reward for effort by Leafheffer. North Hobart with their 5th goal of this contest. Margin back to 29 points, which is where we were at half-time. So North Hobart on pace to at least draw or win the first and third quarters in this contest, Jamie.
And it does feel like Clarence have dominated a lot of the play this term. They would maybe want to have built this lead out a bit more. I think North Hobart, while they've struggled at times and for stretches in general play, they've done well to keep the margin steady here and at least keep themselves in the fight.
Holmes with a decisive tap goes over his teammate's head and straight to James. Leafheffer tries to track it down, instead falls back to Holmes. Gets Paprotny on the outer side. Preshaw going inside 50 to the pocket in the Harper direction. Misses it, but heads over the line and be a boundary throw in.
$27 minutes gone here. You'd have to think we're coming close to three-quarter time.
Holmes just overruns it. Preshaw overruns it that time. And Norton is tackled. Another ball up. Nearing the 28-minute mark of this term. Not quite as many goals as in the second term, so we'll hear the siren shortly. Norton. Almost Falcons, old Tilbury. And there'll be a free kick to Norton.
Plenty of calls coming his way, Norton, but nothing taking his fancy.
Great kick by Norton. Ends up in the hands of Leafheffer. Leafheffer to a dangerous position, but just undercooked the kick for Walker. And a good mark, and that'll end the third term. So we're right where we were at halftime. A 29-point margin here for the Roos. They lead North Hobart 9-11, 65 to 5-6, 36. We'll take our final break and we'll be back to you with the final quarter of this round 21 TSL game. Stay with us. Welcome back to Blundstone Arena for round 21 of the TSL season. Clarence leading North Hobart by 29 points at the final change. 1 quarter to go of North Hobart's season, 1 quarter before Clarence enter finals mode. The umpire bounces the ball and Noah Holmes controls it, tracks it down. Handball in the direction of Bealey. Off the back of the pack to Harper. Heading inside 50. And a beautiful mark to Glover. On the lead.
Not exactly a conventional drop pump, but an absolute bullet there.
It was.
Landed straight on the chest of a teammate. Blake Harper had some nice moments in this game.
Temperatures drop about 5 degrees up here where we are, Jacob.
And
The breeze has died down a little. Glover kicks through the ball. Likes it. His second.
Happy with that. As soon as it left the boot was Glover.
This has the chance to really get away from North Hobart here. Clarence made the most of their second term kicking to this side of the ground. It's been the scoring end all day, Jacob, and this one could become a pile-on.
When it's the challenge for Coach Adam Bester and his staff, isn't it, with a young team who know that they're not playing finals. How do you get them motivated facing a deficit going into the last quarter of the season? You want to try and find little wins, but how do you get your players up for it? It'll be interesting to see how they can respond here. And by the same token, how Clarence can keep the momentum going and rolling into the finals.
It's Holmes controlling the tap once again and hacking it outside. Bealey and Leavehepper trying to run with it, as is Kilpatrick. Bealey kicks it forward over the head of Glover and it falls to a behind. So Clarence finding it incredibly easy to move the ball around this Blundstone Arena this last term. North Hobart have to try and get some wins on the board before their season is done. Mark is dropped. Leavehepper on the other side of that one. Norton tackled. All of a sudden the breeze is blowing directly in our faces. So we've seen a change and the breeze is now blowing in the direction of the city end. Running onto this one's force boom. Now the outside. Top of the square. Attempted mark, no good. North Hobart with a chance to switch. And it falls out of bounds. Another throw in. .36 margin. Jane. Tap down in the Paprotny direction. And it snuck through. Paprotny kicks the goal. And North Hobart in all sorts in this last term. We've played 3.5 minutes and Clarence have kicked 2 goals in that time. They now lead this one by 42 points.
Another clinical finish, wasn't it, from Paprotny? Didn't have time to think, just got it on the boot. Really worked it back beautifully. A good game in the midfield has Paprotny, been busy, and goal just the icing on the cake at the moment.
Holmes stands his ground again, gives it straight to Bealey. Inside 50 again. It goes for Clarence. Norton tracking it down. McGuinness is there too. McGuinness now has it. Kick to the outer wing to Leavehepper. Back on to McGuinness. McGuinness takes a bounce. Handball over the top. This is better from North Hobart. Falls to Wilson. Going inside 50. Into the pocket. And a mark. That's Wilson.
Strong contested grab, wasn't it? In
Kick by Cracknell.
a bit of traffic there, but able to meet it at the highest point and reel it in under some pressure. I've said it before, though, tough pocket to kick from this one. We saw Jared Harper do it very well. Can Wilson do the same?
Wilson kicks through it and it goes across the face. Out of bounds on the full. As you said, Jacob, a difficult place to kick from, and proved to be the case. As Wiley has it for Clarence.
No impact on the scoreboard, but a nice passage of play from North Hobart there. That's what they'd want to see more of.
Nice kick from Wiley. Perfect there to Howard. They're working along the outer wing. Contest provided. Tackle applied and stoppage. Just next to the hill. Really good work from Hasty. Provide that contest. James, decisive tap. Punch. Running onto it is McGee. Another stoppage. Clarence will walk away winners from this one as Holmes takes it out of the ruck, handballs it out. Leave Hepper. Right to the 50. Mark taken though by Wiley. He's been really good back there.
He controls the air very well back there.
There's Fisher. Over to Johnston. Johnston looks further afield in the Harper direction. It was well done though by Monks. Johnston tracking it down, as is Cracknell. Ball falls to McMurray. And now McGuinness finds McCulloch. McCulloch, not a lot of the ball today. And hard to come by in the forward line. Leave Heber has it again. He's been fairly active. He hits Gilligan. Into the pocket for McCulloch. He's got it and paid the mark. He's got a very, very difficult kick if he chooses to take his full measure to try and kick a goal.
He's worked hard down there, as you say. Hasn't had a heap of the ball, McCulloch, but I'd be glad to just have him back out on the park. Looked like he was going to miss the whole season through injury, but he's done well to work himself back to full fitness and play these last couple of games.
James with a significant lead. That's ignored, but Norton's isn't.
Another one who's battled hard, had a lot of the footy.
A very good day.
Not exactly his bread and butter out on the lead inside 50, but
why not?
He's got to take the mark and he'll have a much easier kick for goal here.
So Norton misses to the near side. Behind for North Hobart. 41-point lead to Clarence. A little bit of candy here. Kick right to the middle of the ground. A lot of air under that one from Wiley. Good work by North Hobart to track that one down. Kick by Monks to the outer wing. Here's Norton again. He's been everywhere for the Demons. Ignores the Monks lead. Goes a bit tighter. Controlled by Clarence. On the right, around the corner.
Just hit the wrong side of the ball there, didn't he? Yeah. Instead of working back towards goal, it drifted further away.
So out of bounds on the full. Nearly 9.5 minutes in this final term of North Hobart's 2024 season. Clarence have finals to look forward to. Norton stands under it. Johnston provides the contest. Leave Heber is in there as well. Kavanagh Kicking it inside 50, searching for Walker. Walker soccers it forward, tries to get control of it. Doing really well in there was Wiley. Kavanagh's tracked it down. No one in front of Kavanagh, so he's got to try and find a teammate. He does so, but a tackle is applied immediately, and well done by Ryan, who tackled Tilbury, and there'll be a stoppage. Holmes gives it straight to Norton. Kavanagh gets on the end of it. Kavanagh with a socker, but that didn't go anywhere. Falls to Rainbird. And a beautiful mark there by McGee.
Did well. Pulled that one in on the second grab under a lot of pressure. Just a release for Clarence after they found themselves a little bit under the pump there.
So McGee to Holmes. Holmes right in the middle of the ground, but it was well contested, and mark was paid to McLeod, but the free kick, take your pick. McGuinness has it on the outer side. Here's Gilligan going inside 50. Not finding a teammate though. Be forced out of bounds. 11 minutes gone, 41 points the margin. The result, academic. Just a matter of getting through unscathed now on the way to finals for the Roos.
Yeah, try to get through in one piece while still keeping a little bit of momentum rolling.
Yeah. Can't afford to compromise what makes you a good team, but you have to take calculated risks the rest of the way or limit them. Holmes. Here's Norton. At the back of the pack, inside 50. There's over a couple of players' heads. Devine was tackled and a ball up.
All living down North Hobart's end at the moment, which is a positive for them. Building a little bit of pressure here.
McCulloch. Wiley has it. Going outside 50. Through a lot of hands. Guinness trying to find a teammate. Instead, it's chopped off here by McGee. Controlled by Tilbury. Tilbury goes inside 50, searching for a goal, but falling short, and a beautiful mark by James Bealey. The last line of defence.
Really well done, wasn't it? He got nudged under it a little bit by his opponent, but still able to pull down the mark.
Holmes falls to Tompkins, and then Dolliver to the outer wing where Johnston is. Getting inside 50. Free kick has been paid. That was a little bit too overzealous there by McGuinness. Paprotny it is, taking this one. Paprotny. Missing just the one behind.
Gave it a chance there, just didn't quite work back for the way he was hoping.
Nice little kick to Kavanagh. Kavanagh could go one of three ways. He chooses right up the guts. He's not done that all that well. Dolliver is on the end of it. Hacking it out was Richards, but another behind is the result. As we pass the 14-minute mark of this final term, it's a 43-point margin to Clarence. 11-4-80, playing 5-7-37. Beautiful kick. Great mark by Stevenson. Stevenson just laying it up for Hasty. Hasty with two bounces. Off to Leave Heber. Leave Heber. Little chipping kick is a good one. Devine has it.
We've seen that a lot today. North Hobart, when they can get out and run, look really good. They set up that time coming out of defence. No one passed the halfway line except for Norton, one out inside 50, and it just gave them room to spread into and use their pace once they got out the back.
So young Archie Devine to kick for goal. It's hooking around. It's to the line. It's a goal. So the son of a gun gets one back for the Demons.
Certainly wasn't pretty off the boot.
It was not.
A genuine helicopter of a kick.
Yeah.
Started way offline and somehow worked its way back and carried over the last man on the goal line. But it doesn't matter how they go through. As long as they go through, they count all the same. An important one for North Hobart, just to keep things respectable here.
The family has a keen goal sense, and that is shared by Archie.
Yeah, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say it's a bad kick. Maybe that's just one of the tricks of the trade that he's picked up from his old man.
That's right. Similar to when Robbie hid behind the point post in his first game of league football back about 20 years ago. Maybe more than that, showing my age. Holmes controlled once again over to Rainbird. Falls to Kilpatrick though. Proprotny applies a really strong tackle and a stoppage. Holmes with a huge punch. Don't see Ruckman have that sort of punch. Right. It's Rainbird selling some candy, missing to the far side, one behind.
Had plenty of opportunities this quarter, haven't they, Clarence? Just peppering the goals, but not able to take full advantage on the scoreboard. Have a chance to apply some pressure again here, though, as the ball goes out of bounds.
McMurray just couldn't quite control it and had a Clarence defender hot on his heels, so he made sure that it was seen over the line. James controls that one to Leafhepper. Ends up in the hands of Norton, as it's often done today. Controlled by McLeod. Now to the outer wing. And it's holding the ball. Free kick to Johnston. Johnston searching. Good punch applied by the North Hobart defender in Prokopiak. And a stoppage inside 50 for Clarence. Holmes takes it out of the ruck. Tries to hack it out of the air. Instead it falls. And it's a behind.
Nasty one to deal with there, those high balls.
It's Tompkins that kicked that one as Norton receives the inbound immediately. Prokopiak. Into the centre of the ground for Leafhepper, who's had a good game. Goes to the outer wing, looking for and finding McLeod. McLeod going inside 50 in search of Wilson. He's kicked one today, can't quite control it. There'll be a free kick paid to Clarence though. A little overzealous from the North Hobart forwards.
Some space to work into on this near side for Clarence now.
Fall straight to Alomes, over the top to Wiley. Wiley kicks it inside 50. It was well done there by Walker. Coming back. Monks. And Monks kicks it out of bounds. Approaching the 20-minute mark of this final term. 39 points the margin.
Holmes. Kilpatrick. Now leave Hepper. Looking in the centre of the ground but can't find a teammate. Instead it's falling to Paprotny. Strong hands, not quite good enough. McGuinness there for North Hobart. Can't find a target. Falls to McMurray. He's tackled and another stoppage awaits.
We've got Holmes in the ruck here inside 50. See what he can produce on this occasion.
A huge punch to the front of the pack, but just goes directly over the line, out of bounds. So a throw in. We're now past the 20-minute mark. Goes over the top of Holmes. Falls in the Rainbird direction, but he's tackled. Leaf Heber tries to grab it. Cannot. Holmes once again with a tap. Falls to the outside of the pack. Attempting to control it was Tompkins, but he's gone. And he'll be holding the ball. A very risky kick into Kilpatrick.
Happy to bite those off, hasn't he, McGuinness? Take the risk, hopefully get the reward.
Speaking of bite off, the ball just went through the hands of Stevenson, and instead now he's going to end up another Clarence kick for goal. This time it's the superstar Holmes receiving the ball from McGee. So Holmes a kick 2 in this contest. There's a chance for a third as he approaches. He likes it. That's 3.
Made that look very easy. Noah Holmes just leant back. Looked like he barely even kicked it. Soared through. His third of the day. He's certainly put together another good game in a very strong season.
Just punctuates his entire home and away season, I think, Noah Holmes, with the third goal. It's been great around the stoppage today, as always. He's managed to lead all goal kickers to this stage. McGee controls the tap. Leave Heber. Tackle by Dolliver. It's a good tackle by Dolliver. Here's Preshaw. Ends up in the hands of Borsboom. Going inside 50 once again. And there'll be a free kick paid here for a block. Another shot for goal here by Clarence. Kick is on the way. It's missed. A Rainbird. Kilpatrick. It's down the back line. Out of the 50. A good effort that is celebrated by the Clarence teammates to force another stoppage out there. The outer wing near the painted 50. 24 minutes gone in this final term. James with a running start. Holmes has it. And there's a free kick that's been paid here. It'll go to Holmes. Another opportunity for Noah Holmes. He's kicked 3. He could potentially kick 4.
As you say, he's already put the punctuation mark on his season, but maybe add the exclamation point with a 4th goal here.
Holmes gives it a ride. And he's kicked it. What a kick. Noah Holmes has kicked some absolute pearlers today. That's his 4th. Margin now up to 52 points. 25 minutes gone in the final term. As we approach full time, Clarence with a decisive victory despite trailing early in the second term. A scrappy North Hobart team that made the most of their opportunities early, but then the class just rose above.
And as we tick towards full time here, we'll say fans looking for a little bit more footy to finish their day. Well worth crossing over on the AFL Tas YouTube channel to Kingborough and Lauderdale with a home final on the line. 51 points apiece at 3/4 time, so should be a cracking finish there.
Pretty sure. Tracking it down, bringing it inside 50. Kilpatrick. Now out to Wilson. Shrugs the tackle, but it was legged. Opportunity here for McLeod. McLeod going inside 50. It'll fall short. Goes directly over the head of Ryan. Track down. Another good effort by Ryan. A couple of handballs in the Divine direction. He's kicked one in this final term, but he won't be able to get another, and instead there'll be a stoppage. Yes, that will prove to be a very good last quarter. As we have another stoppage inside 50 this time for the Demons.
Launceston and Glenorchy also all tied up at 3/4 time, so
some good TSL footy on YouTube today for everyone. Tackle applied by Dolliver. String of stoppages inside 50 for North. North Hobart just really want that last goal of the season, and there's a push in the back, and unfortunately for them, 50 as well. So a little bit of extra feedback provided by the Demons player, and the umpire said, no thanks, I know what I'm doing.
I think the frustration may be stemming from Beery, who tried to power through that tackle. Maybe they felt it should have been holding the ball, but the end of the tackle certainly had a bit of extra force in it.
Instead, driving inside 50, and it's Noah Holmes. He's kicked 4, and he really wants 5.
It's just such a weapon, isn't he, to be able to be so dominant in the ruck and then go forward and take marks and kick goals like that as the siren sounds. Can he put one final goal on the board in the home and away season for Clarence?
So Noah Holmes, 52 points is the margin as we speak. Siren is gone. North Hobart's season in 2024 is over. Holmes strolls in and kicks it. A final margin of 58 points, 14-17, 101 to North Hobart, 6-7-43. Clarence winners here at Blundstone Arena in round 21 of the 2024 TSL season. They will finish the season in second position on the ladder. North Hobart, they will finish it in second last.
I think still at least some positives to take from this game for North Hobart. It was all about little wins for them heading into next season, and I thought some of the young brigades stood up and gave a good account of themselves, particularly early in the game when they kept things close, led early, really made it a contest. But in the end, Clarence are premiership contenders for a reason, and they responded after a slow start, put the foot down, really powered away for an impressive win heading into the finals.
Great performance by Clarence after quarter time. Great performance by Noah Holmes. He's walking away, I think, with the best player on the ground for me today, at least. 5 goals and a dominant ruck performance after quarter time. Jacob, who else did you like in this contest?
I thought Oscar Poprotny did a lot of good work around the ground, was able to hit the scoreboard as well. In a game where there was a lot of contested footy, he was one who really stuck in and had a crack and did well. I thought by the same token, in a losing team. Angus Norton
Yes.
was very good for North Hobart.
Norton was good.
He loves the scrap, loves the contest, and I thought he finished his season really well after racking up some big numbers over the last fortnight.
Thomas Leaveheber was really good as well for North. 2 goals, was in amongst it, all over the ground. So honourable mention, but yes, Holmes definitely the standout in this one. I completely agree with Propney. He was classy.
I did think as well on a day where Clarence were missing some senior bodies, some bigger bodies, some of the younger players had some good moments at the very least. You know, Blake Harper, some really good play there. Tompkins had some good moments.
Keegan Wiley was really good down back as well, really paced them down there and made it very difficult for North Hobart to get any sort of momentum going inside 50.
Yeah, I think on the whole, Clarence will be pretty happy with a balanced effort across the board with some real talent to come back in ahead of their first final next week. They'll be quietly confident heading up the highway to North Launceston and taking on the minor premiers.
Well, that about does us here from Blundstone Arena, Jacob. Good luck with the finals. All the best for the next few weeks.
It's an exciting time, isn't it? So hopefully you'll be tuning in over the next few weeks to see who takes home the TSL Premiership this year.
For Jacob Dool, I'm Adam Webster from Blundstone Arena. We'll see you again next time on the TSL.